In the United States, a new contender could be about to change the face of the presidential race, with the Republican field so far failing to excite. The governor of Texas, Rick Perry, is poised to throw his hat into the ring. He's been called Governor Goodhair and compared to George W. Bush, but supporters say he could be a force to reckon with. North American correspondent Jane Cowan reports from Texas.
Opportunity looms large.
Meet the man who could be about to shake up the presidential race.
Texas! Texas!
Fresh from hosting a huge national prayer rally, the Texan governor, Rick Perry, is looking every bit the candidate.
We see fear in the marketplace. We see anger in the halls of government.
A former Air Force pilot and one-time Democrat, Rick Perry has risen through the ranks of Texan politics, winning every race he's ever run.
He's a tough guy. He's a sort of a man's man, and I don't think there's any other way to describe him except pure Texan. And he embraces it. It's not anything that he's ashamed of. He embraces it and he lives it full.
It's important that Texans elect Rick Perry.
Said to possess an exquisite sense of timing and a lucky streak, the 61-year-old first became governor almost by accident when George W. Bush moved on to the White House. A fiscal and social conservative who's ridden the wave of anti-establishment Tea Party anger that swept through the Republican Party, Perry's now the longest-serving governor in Texan history.
Sometimes your instincts tell you when a man is right for the job.
Oozing charisma and with movie star looks, he's a gifted campaigner.
He can be talking to the camera and someone just hit him in the side of the face and he'd just get back and be right on message. I mean, he's disciplined and as good as anyone I've ever seen about staying on message.
But he's also said to be a canny operator who's frequently underestimated.
He has held great power for a long time, and it has been exercised on occasion against people who've crossed him, and they will tell the tale. It's tough. You cross him and you lose. You will pay a price.
He's in third place in double digits. Yeah. And he hasn't even announced yet, I know.
He's on everybody's lips.
Californian businessman Bob Schuman is the senior strategist for a fundraising group called Americans for Rick Perry. He's in Washington meeting journalists and donors and whipping up the buzz about his man.
You know, people are excited about it, and the media has been very interested in a possible Perry run. I think that speaks partly to the current field. That people are looking for somebody new and somebody fresh.
With Texas creating jobs while the rest of the country struggles with unemployment, Rick Perry has a compelling economic story to tell, although critics point out the job boom's padded with minimum wage positions. In the Texan capital, Austin, political filmmaker Paul Steckler has watched the stars align for Rick Perry.
You know, I can't tell you that Governor Perry's been dreaming about being president for his entire life. You know, but if he was going to script the election of 2012, he couldn't have scripted it any better for himself. You know, and quite frankly, if I had any money to put on it, I'd say he's either going to get the nomination or he's a perfect vice presidential candidate for Mitt Romney as an attack dog.
Hang on to it! It'd be a well-worn path. From Lyndon Johnson to George W. Bush, the Lone Star State has been famous for more than oil and cowboys.
Rick Perry's been described as twice the cowboy George W. Bush was. But the question is, are Americans ready to contemplate sending another swaggering Texan to the White House?
I believe he's a God-fearing man and got our interest at heart and more interested in putting America back on the path it used to be on, conservative path.
Well, he's been governor for a long time in Texas, so, I mean, he'd be better, way better than what we have.
I think we are ready to send another Texan to the White House. And I also, you know, Obama stepped into a lot, and Perry's going to have to wear some pretty big boots to be able to get this country back on track.
But it's debatable whether the enthusiasm about Rick Perry speaks to his genuine strength as a candidate or just a lack of better options. Jane Cowan, Lateline.